there any reason why you'd be doing that?
Bills. My husband's not working. My son's hours got cut. I got a 15-year-old, and my ex-husband just went back on the road as a truck driver.
A cashier at a Speedway convenience store in Florida. 2 detectives in the back office. What she said next would seal her own fate. This case raises 3 distinct legal questions. Whether custody attached before Miranda was read, whether Tracy's confession was constitutionally voluntary, and whether the officer's bond estimate created a leniency problem under established suppression doctrine.
We'll go back here to the office.
Couple officers and then this office.
Oh, you need it in there?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, obviously you know why we're here. I'm just going to read you this, alright? Just so we could have this. Require the warning before you make any statement. You have the following constitutional rights. You have the right to remain silent, not answer any questions. Any statement you make must be freely and voluntarily given. You have the right to the presence and representation of a lawyer of your choice before you make any statement and during any questioning. If you cannot afford a lawyer, you're entitled to the presence and representation of a court-appointed lawyer before you make any statement and during any questioning. If at any time during the interview you do not wish to answer any questions, you're privileged to remain silent. You can make no threats or promises to induce you to make a statement, and this must be of your own free will. Any statement can be and will be used against you in the court of law. Do you understand these rights?
Yes.
Alright, and what's your name?
Tracy.
Alright. Were you ever booked under a different name? So there's a couple different last names or something.
My married name's.
Alright, just checking.
Yeah.
Alright, so obviously you know what this is about. Do you have the little videos up on there now? Can you pull those up? Alright, so while he's doing that, we were called here about like fraudulent activity and like false purchases going through the POS system. Like cash purchases, no cash showing up in the drawer, the money going to a cash app or a like a phone app system. I reviewed the videos yesterday. I reviewed the videos yesterday and saw it appeared you were doing a transaction through the register there for cash to be loaded onto like Cash App or whatever one of those apps are. Scanning it and then clearing it out. Do you have anything to add in with that, or
No.
any reason why you'd be doing that?
Bills. My husband's not working. My son's hours got cut. I got a 15-year-old, and my ex-husband just went back on the road as a truck driver. So I'm the main person paying the bills, and our lights were about to be shut off that day. So I know that's no excuse.
Miranda versus Arizona. Decided in 1966. Requires warnings before any custodial interrogation. The custody test is objective whether a reasonable person in the suspect's position would have felt free to leave. Under Berkemer versus McCarty. Decided in 1984. 2 officers in a backroom office satisfy that threshold. Custody attached before handcuffs. There is a suppression issue embedded early in this footage. The officer's initial question any reason you would be doing that precedes the formal Miranda warning. Under Wong Sun versus United States. Decided in 1963. Statements obtained before required warnings are subject to the fruit of the poisonous tree doctrine. Any incriminating response in that window was suppressible. Once Miranda is read, Tracy says, yes. All right. North Carolina versus Butler. Decided in 1979. Holds that a written waiver is not required. An express oral acknowledgement, given knowingly, is legally sufficient. The waiver is valid. Interrogation may proceed. Colorado versus Connelly. Decided in 1986. Controls the voluntariness analysis. The Fifth Amendment prohibits governmental coercion, not internal pressure from personal circumstances. Tracy's financial hardship and family obligations are real, but they are not state action. Under Connelly, her confession is constitutionally voluntary. On reliability, under Opper versus United States, decided in 1954, courts look for corroborating specificity, details only the perpetrator would know. Tracy's step-by-step walkthrough of the transaction mechanics satisfies that standard independently of any surveillance footage. The confession is both voluntary and reliable.
Benito?
Oh. Who lives there with you now?
My husband, my ex-husband technically lives there, and my two kids. My 20-year-old and my 15-year-old.
Alright, so what are you typing in there?
The amount, load, go on the other side, confirm, come back on this side, scan,
And this is into Cash App, or what app is
yes.
It's a Chime
Chime.
account.
that? Chime?
Yeah, same, pretty much the same thing as cash.
And that's onto your phone?
Yes.
Have you ever done this before, or
No.
like anywhere else?
No.
What made you, like, what brought this up to start trying to do this? Like,
Just trying to get my bills paid.
Did you-
Because like I said, I have a 15-year-old now.
did you realize that this would probably be videoed
No.
and it's all electronic and everything's monitored? Alright.
Yeah, because I have nobody at home to take care of my daughter. Because her and her stepdad, oh my God, it's like two alphas in the same house together. He yells at her, she yells at him. Their dad is on the road as a truck driver for Crete.
Alright, how'd you get here today?
Drove.
You drove? Your car's out there?
Yes.
Alright, do you have anything else to add in? Anything else you want us to know about this stuff? Do you have anything? You don't have pockets or anything,
No, I
right?
don't have phone.
Alright, here, you can walk out with us then.
Pull my pants up.
Yeah, if you grab your stuff.
You're number 3? I'm gonna take you over here. You coloring again? Boss, yeah. Always coloring. Oh, I'm struck a phone.
Which car's yours? The parked over here? So here's what we're gonna do, alright? So unfortunately you know what's going on here. With the videos and all that stuff and everything we just kind of talked about. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give you a little extra thing here. Alright? You're gonna be going with us today.
Okay.
Alright? I'm just putting it out there plain and simple, okay? Since you have your car here, you have your things to make things easier, more streamlined. What I'm gonna have you do is let's leave your things in your car. We'll lock your car so we can just take your key.
Okay, there's no way y'all could follow me to the house so I could drop the car off at the house
No.
to my husband?
No, I can't do
That way
that.
he could take my daughter where she needs to go?
I can't do that. If we could, the faster we could go in and get out, the faster you could get to wherever you need to go. It's early in the day. You're gonna have a bond. It's likely just gonna be a couple $100, just because they're 1/10 of whatever the actual bond is. So if we could go in there, you could be out by lunchtime. Honestly.
The officer's statement about a low bond and release before noon triggers analysis under Arizona versus Fulminante, decided in 1991. A confession induced by a promise of benefit can be challenged as involuntary. The sequence is decisive. Tracy's full admission came first. The bond estimate came after a post-confession reassurance does not retroactively taint a prior voluntary statement. The confession survives. Florida Statutes Section 8, 12.014 defines theft as knowingly obtaining another's property with intent to deprive. The restitution order of $8,000 places this squarely within third-degree grand theft, a felony carrying up to 5 years imprisonment. Tracy's own operational description eliminates reasonable doubt on intent. The removal of Tracy's personal items before transport falls within the search incident to arrest doctrine from Chime versus California. Decided in 1969. Front cuffing based on a reported medical condition is a proportionate accommodation for a compliant, nonviolent arrestee and does not create any Fourth Amendment issue. Tracy was convicted on felony grand theft and sentenced to 3 years probation with $8,000 in restitution, no incarceration. That sentence reflects a significant downward departure from the 5-year statutory maximum, consistent with first offense status, full cooperation, and voluntary confession. The investigating officer receives a B+. Miranda was administered in full before substantive questioning procedurally sound. No omission risk. The interview technique produced a detailed, reliable confession without coercion. The deduction, the pre-Miranda question in the opening exchange, created a suppression vulnerability that competent defense counsel would have identified. Tracy receives a C+. Her compliance was complete and her cooperation genuine. But waiving Miranda and delivering a granular operational confession without counsel was a critical strategic error. The Sixth Amendment right to counsel exists for exactly this moment. Her detailed description of the transaction mechanics eliminated evidentiary ambiguity that might otherwise have forced a lesser plea. Cooperation helped at sentencing. It was not a legal strategy. The structural lesson this case reinforces is straightforward. Silence and non-cooperation are not the same thing. A suspect can comply fully with the physical arrest process while invoking the right to counsel and declining to speak. That combination preserves every available defense. What Tracy did instead was hand the prosecution its entire case in her own words. Let us know if there is an interaction or legal topic you would like us to cover in the comments below. Thank you for watching. And don't forget to check out our second channel, Street Bodycam, for more police interaction and courtroom content.
So let's just put your stuff in the car here. Preferably like put it in the back.
Yeah.
Cause I see you got like jewelry on and stuff.
Yeah. Unfortunately. I can take my phone and my keys, right?
If you want to take your phone, that's fine. I'm just trying, the less things that go in, the better. Like, so like rings and all that stuff, unless you can't take them off.
Yeah.
Or they're like some, you know, super sediment, super valuable
this
sort
one
of
is
thing.
like diabetic.
Just so the nurses.
Yeah, you can let them know. Just let them know you're diabetic, but and you know you don't need assistance unless you do. You know.
I'll take your keys and your phone.
Want me to turn the phone off?
I'll turn
Yeah.
Yeah. Come on, stupid phone. Good shot.
So you got a phone with a cracked screen.
We have to document it like that. It
Yeah.
seems odd.
Debit card.
Here, and your car is locked.
Yeah, when the mirrors go in, it's locked.
All right. So put your hands like you're praying.
Can we put them in the back? I have a really bad back.
I could put them in the front if you got a bad back.
Yeah.
Let me get your name tag and the pin off, because those are things that they'll try to say like somehow that's like a weapon or something crazy.
Well, there is a needle on
Well,
this.
you know, they'll freak out over that stuff. You want me to put these in your car?
Yes.
All right. So here, I'll put them in the front since you're saying you have a bad
Yeah.
shoulder, bad back.
I have arthritis, DDD, bulging disc, all of my lower back.
That's fine. You're not giving me any issues, so I'll help you out. You're helping me out. This isn't this is just like a money crime, so it's not like you're out murdering people and doing craziness. All right. So I'm gonna set you in here.
Okay.
There you go. Unlock it.